What is going on, everybody? My name is Melon and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be finding out what is the most supreme Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, what one really towers over the other. Just before we get into the video, if you are new and you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to go down below and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds out of your day and is completely free. Also, pretty much 25% of you guys aren't subscribed. I do keep in mind, most parts of this video are going to be opinion based. I try to keep as open-eyed as possible, but I'm not all the time, so don't go bitching in the comments. Right, so I have 3 categories: maps, replayability and innovation. I'm going to put each game up to each 3 of these categories. I'm going to rank them out of 10. The one with the highest score at the end will win. If you don't get it right now, carry on watching and I'm sure you will get the hang of it. Oh, I also forgot to mention, World at War's not going to be included into this. It's not titled Black Ops. I know there are zombies maps and they all do tie in together, but it's not titled Black Ops. I had a bit of a decision. I decided not to add it, so if you did want to see it, I'm really sorry. Alright, let's start with the BO1. The BO1 maps are actually really cool and iconic. As the starting maps, we had Kino, Detotin and 5. Kino wasn't actually supposed to be in Black Ops 1 if you didn't know. It was actually supposed to be in World at War, and if you think about it, if you had 5 as its standalone map, it would have been really fucking awful. 5 is too much of a challenging map, but when they pair it with Kino, that's quite easy. It's the perfect combo. So we have Shangri-La as well. It's a very hard map, but it's also a very good looking map. The Shriekers and the Napalms were just a perfect boss to have, and the monkeys that could sometimes steal your power-ups also made a good change, and it always kept you on your toes. So I have Call of the Dead, which is actually my favourite BO1 map. It's just really good. George Romero was a good boss, always had to keep you moving, which it's probably one of my favourite features that they've ever actually added in zombies. Not a lot of people enjoyed that part, but I really did, and I never understood really why. It was probably, to be honest, the reason I probably like this map so much is because it was the first DLC I bought ever for Call of Duty Zombies. I might be a little bit, biased here, but it's a really good map. Other than that, it looks really good. The fog is a bit annoying because there is a little bit of fog, but the layout of the map is just truly amazing. I love the lighthouse and the boat. It's just a really good all-round map. We also have Moon. Moon is, I don't know how to explain Moon. It was something that we never have seen before. To start off, you have a badass wonder weapon, a really good boss zombie, and a really good Easter egg that just looks really cool. As an overall look and an overall view as the maps, they were decent. Nothing truly amazing for me, nothing that really stands out, and I don't really want to go, oh, I really want to play that map other than Call of the Dead. So, they're good enough to be remembered, but not really good enough to be playing them constantly. So for that, I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10. Right, let's get into the next category, which is replayability. So I think it's safe to say that BO1 Zombies is pretty fun. The guns are quite good to use, and the game is pretty challenging, so going for high rounds and doing certain challenges is going to take a bit of a while to beat. One annoying thing is though, and it does affect the replayability, is the fact that the Easter eggs have to take 2 or more players in this game to do. And if you don't have the people to play with, and it takes a lot of fun out the map. For me, going for the Easter eggs and completing them is half of the fun of the map. And if you take that away, then the game is just a standard old get to a high round. But for me, what makes this game so fun to do and so replayable is the challenges. The challenges are so good, and challenges were really brought to life on this game. We had challenges such as the spawn room challenge and the wall gun challenge and the pack-a-punch every gun in the map challenge. It's just really good. They're really fun to do. So I'm going to give replayability on BO1 a 7 out of 10. The next category is innovation. BO1 added some pretty cool things into zombies. They expanded on the perk system by adding perks such as Mule Kick, Deadshot and Stamina Up. These perks are very iconic. Mule Kick, Deadshot and Stamina Up are still used into the zombies games today, and it wouldn't be different without them. We also have, as I like to call them, main bosses, something other than dogs. So we're talking bosses like the George Romero, the astronauts from Moon, the Napalm zombies, and obviously the Pentagon Thief. Just the bosses like that are a little bit more challenging to kill. They also sort of put Easter eggs into the game. There was a little Easter egg in Doris, but other than that, BO1 really started Easter eggs and Easter egg hunting, which is also very cool. Other than that, they didn't add too much, so I'm going to give innovation for BO1 a 5 out of 10. Okay, next is BO2. For the maps, they were a bit 50-50. Transit and Diorize were pretty awful and not a lot of people liked them, but Mob of the Dead, Origins and Buried were extremely good and popular. As well as these maps, we got a couple of bonus maps, being Nuketown Zombies and all of the areas in Transit being individual owned separate maps. So we got quite a lot of maps for this, and that's obviously a very good bonus. BO2 was very good for action-packed maps as well, and lots of people's favourite maps are from BO2. So for the maps, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Okay, next is replayability. The number of maps alone make this game more replayable, and you know, each map had different things to do each time you play it, and this game is probably the most iconic for co-op play. The best times on this game are playing with friends, trying to go for a high round on Buried, or get all the staffs on Origins, or even trying to go to the Golden Gate Bridge on Mob of the Dead. I still play this game with friends today, going for challenges as well as doing high rounds, so I'm going to give it a good 7 out of 10. Now, BO2 was great for innovation. They added building tables where you could build things such as turbines to jumpstart perks or open certain doors. You could also build the trample steam, which would fling you or the zombies into the air, and there's also many more things you can build. They also added some new perks, with perks like Tombstone, Who's Who, Vulture's Aid, and Electric Cherry. Although half of them were pretty shit, it's still something new. And they also added to the special weapons in this game. They added the Ray Gun Mark II, and they also added the Origin Staffs, which are probably some of the biggest fan favourite weapons to date. So for replayability on BO2, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Now right, BO3 is next up. The maps on BO3 were really well made and entertaining. Our base maps, we had Shadows of Evil and The Giant, both being huge fan favourite maps. DLC 1 being the Eisendrache is still one of the most popular maps to date. Zetsubo no Shima was a little bit memed on, but overall it isn't too bad. Gorod Krovi was perfect. It made you think of the old good World at War times and still being new enough to entertain you. We also had, Revelations. It's such a shame that this map wasn't good. All of the other maps on BO3 were amazing, but Revelations was just recycled and a bit shit. We also got Zombie Chronicles in the game. With this pack, we got Nocturne Totem, Verrucht, Shino Numa, Kino de Toten, Ascension, Shangri-La, Moon, and Origins. These maps were all amazingly remastered, and you know, this is going to bring a lot of points to the maps because we got I think it was 13 maps I think we got on BO3. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either 11 to 13, I'm not too sure, but for maps I'm gonna give BO3 a good 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's only 9 because Revelations was a bit shit. If it was good, it would have been bumped up to 10 out of 10. So BO3 is and will probably stay as one of the most replayable Black Ops Zombie games out there. Even with Cold War dropping, I seriously don't think that it's going to beat BO3 in zombie sales and the amount of time people put into it. There were so many things to do and the amount of maps alone was amazing. The Easter eggs were all really cool and individual. The special weapons on each different map was also gives you something to do. And a big reason I kept going back into playing was getting to Prestige Master. The ranking system was actually really cool, and it took me, I can't remember how many in-game days. I think it took about 14 in-game days to get to Prestige Master, which was that's a stupid amount of time. Other than that, that's about it for replayability. There's just so many things to do, so I'm going to give it a good 7 out of 10. Right, BO3 innovated the shit out of zombies. They added a new gobblegum system. They added unlockable weapons on each individual map. They added something called the Newton's Cookbook for your gobblegums. They added daily quests, a new ranking system. You could put attachments and stuff on your weapons. They added so much stuff, and I'm probably forgetting about a lot of stuff they added as well. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Oh, I really wish that would be the end of the Black Ops series. And I wish I could be going on to the end to tell you what the best one is. But no, we have BO4. This is going to be fun. So the maps in BO4 were, well, they were fucking something, weren't they? Jesus. Okay, I've got to be serious. The maps on BO4 just clearly lacked effort. Most maps were reimagined versions with only just a couple of areas added. For the base maps, we got IX and Void to Despair. It was cool. Oh, we also got Blood of the Dead. That's it. Jesus Christ, I've got to get myself together. Alright, third time's the charm. Right, so for the base maps, we got IX, Void of Despair, and Blood of the Dead. It was cool that we got 3 maps off launch, but the only really good map was IX. Blood was a fucking true disappointment. Everyone was so hyped for that map. As soon as it dropped, it was a complete disappointment, and the layout of Voyage of Despair is too annoying and confusing for me to even care about. DOC1 was Dead of the Night, and to be honest, I didn't mind it too much, but I never understood why they didn't do any promotion for it. I really don't get it. Ancient Evil is probably the best map out there for BO4. I mean, I actually enjoyed it, and it wasn't too bad. Alpha Omega wasn't too bad, but it really put me off Nuketown, and Tag to Toten can, like, just piss off. Like, seriously, it's such a shit way to end the Ether storyline. We also got Classified, which I guess would tie into the base maps, but, you know, that was a pre-order bonus, and you could buy it later on. So, the map game was not strong for BO4, so I'm only going to give it a 6 out of 10. BO4 isn't really that replayable either. The Easter eggs are really boring, and for me, I just think the game is way too easy. You could say the same about BO3, but BO4 was just on a true next level. I mean, Mr. T-Lexify got to round 100 with a fucking ballistic knife. Like, that's just way too easy. I mean, when a game is too easy, it just gets really boring. I don't know if you guys like easy games. I like a little bit of a challenge. So, I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 10. They didn't really innovate much too, to be honest. Elixirs don't count, they were just rip-off gobblegums. The special weapons also don't count, because we had them in BO3. They did add, to be fair, that you could change your lethal, which was cool. And the biggest part of BO4 was the perk system. Like, I hate BO4, but you've got to give it to Treyarch. They jumped straight into the deep end with the change of the perks. Basically, the change of the perks, instead of buying your perks on the map, as the classic zombies game, when in BO4 you got 4 perks you could pick before the game started, and that's what you got. This was to stop players buying the same perks each time they play the game. So I think I'm going to have to give it some points for that, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So that's all the maps summed up. Let's get into the scores. So in last place with 17 points, we obviously have BO4. Pretty much most of you guys knew it was going to be last anyway. It lacked personality and was just alright shit. In third place with 21 points, we have BO1. BO1 was amazing, do not get me wrong, but unfortunately it just got a bit outdated. So, not far behind of first place with 20 points, we have BO2. They changed zombies forever and the maps will never ever be forgotten. So in first place that means we have BO3 with 24 points. It was content packed, replayable, and the maps were just amazing. If you do prefer a different game other than BO3, don't go hate in the comments. As I said, this video is pretty much opinion based, but I would like to see your favourite game in the comment section below. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to go like and subscribe and share my video with others. With that said, bye guys.